Okay, this is the third and final video for Chapter 1, Section 5, Subtracting Real Numbers. In this video, first we're going to look at absolute value. And I want you to understand that absolute value symbols are grouping symbols. Okay, so what that means is when you're doing absolute value, you treat it like you would parentheses or like you would brackets. So what that means is you have to find the value of the expression within the absolute value symbols before finding the absolute value. So we're not on this one, we're going to do 5 minus 11 first. Notice negative 6 stays in the absolute value symbols. Then we take the absolute value. So absolute value, make it positive or keep it positive. So that'd be positive 6. Okay, on this one, we're going to do 8 minus 7 first, which is 1. Notice that 1 stays inside the absolute value symbols. So the first step is to do what's inside the absolute value symbols, then take the absolute value. So absolute value makes it positive or keeps it positive. On number 10, remember that minus a negative, change that to a plus. So negative 10 plus 4 will be negative 6. Okay, notice that negative 6 is inside the absolute value symbol. Now we take the absolute value and we get positive 6. So do the operation first, then take the absolute value. When you take the absolute value, it's just like doing an operation. You make it positive or keep it positive. All right. Next, we're looking at evaluating expressions. We're going to evaluate each expression for t equals negative 2 and r equals negative 7. Now, since our t and our r are equal to negative integers, I'm going to make sure I use parentheses where I have an r and a t. So on this first one, we have negative 7 minus negative 2. Now, I didn't put the first number in parentheses, which that's okay, I guess. But make sure after that minus sign, you put that negative 2 in parentheses, because it kind of helps separate the minus and the negative from each other, and that way you can see, oh, we got to change that to a plus sign. Okay, remember, you can also just rewrite it if you want to. You don't have to circle it and change it to a plus sign. So negative 7 plus 2 will be negative 5. All right, here we're going to do negative 2, that's t, minus, and then we have r is negative 7. Notice I put negative 7 in parentheses because it's following that minus sign. So minus a negative is a plus. You can rewrite it or you can circle it. So negative 2 plus 7 will be positive 5. All right, on this one, this t has a minus sign in front of it. So whenever I put this in, when I put this in parentheses, that's going to be a minus and then negative 2. Okay, and then here we have minus and then negative 7. So those both become positives. So we're going to end up with positive 2 plus 7, which is going to be 9. All right, on this one, I have negative r. So that's going to be negative 7. Sorry, negative and then negative 7. So it's going to be minus and then parentheses negative 7. Then minus. Then inside that parentheses, we have a minus and then a negative 2. So lots of little minus signs there. So this is one reason why I like to circle them and change them to plus signs. I like to rewrite the problem because it gets to be a little confusing with all those minuses and negatives in there. So what this is saying is minus a negative 7 is positive 7. Then I have a minus sign in the middle, and then minus a negative 2 is 2. So 7 minus 2 is 5. All right, one more example is a real world example. And it's on Thursday, the closing stock of XYZ Company was $17.37. It had risen 87 cents from the previous day. Find the closing price of XYZ on Wednesday. So Wednesday is the previous day from Thursday. So for this kind of example, to find the closing price on Wednesday, which is the previous day, we're first going to subtract the change in price from the closing price on Thursday. So we're subtracting the change in price. Now the change in price is right here. So it says risen 87 cents. That means it went up. So it's a positive 87 cents. Now, from the closing price on Thursday was $17.37. So we are subtracting positive 87 cents from $17.37. Now remember, subtract from means to switch the order. So this will end up being 17.37 minus, that's the subtract part, subtract from, we had to switch the order, positive 0.87. So we're subtracting a negative, which is, subtracting a positive, which means we're actually just subtracting. And so we get $16.50 is the closing price on Wednesday. Okay, so this is the third and final video for Chapter 1, Section 5, Subtracting Real Numbers. After this, continue to the third page of your notes and do the student problems, summary question, and student question, and then make sure you enter your information on the Google form for this section.